Okay, everybody, this is Tin Pups Jerry. You can see here I've already started taking the brass off the Reaper. I've got this the big section, the near side, show side, whatever. Been soaking for 5 minutes. That's what I did the other one, and immediately started prying on it. You can see how slimy and sticky this stuff is. One thing I haven't mentioned is before you go through this process, make sure you trace your scales so you know you got a pattern. They deform like crazy from the acetone, so you're not going to get a real accurate pattern off of them once you dip them into that. Okay, so this has been soaking for about 5 minutes. I usually keep a X-Acto knife, a little scratch all kind of a deal, and a busted up jeweler's screwdriver standard. But I like using the X-Acto knife. It's one of my favorite toys. When you go after these, you don't want to bend anything, and you shouldn't have to pry too hard. I try to get underneath of them. See, I don't know if you can see that, but I just barely stuck it in there, and it pries right off. Don't get in between the legs and spread those. Okay, and then you just grab a hold of it. It's not too bad. I've done these and let them soak too long. You don't want to do that either, because this stuff turns into a big plastic gumball, and you have got a mess on your hands. You can see how it's all. You can just scrape that stuff right off of there. It's just totally disintegrating and sticky. And the bad thing about doing it too much is because then it gets all over the brass, and you got to clean it off. Let's see how I'm just going under. I don't know if you can see or not, but it's loosened up at the bottom all the way across here. It's pretty straightforward. Ooh, I did mention. I'm gonna put my magnifiers on here. Maybe get in a little closer. There's no race. So you got the whole thing moving there. Here we go. I said, I just try and get underneath of it. I did one here not too long ago. Antonio Tadrossi razor. It had a lot of detail in it, like this name does. Yeah, we got it. Lifetime. Pretty straight. This stuff is like foil, so you don't have to do too much to destroy them. Like, it's already stuck to the blade a little more than I like to pry off. Little itty bitsy letters and real thin brass. So far I haven't run into this thing causing any problems. I'll pry that out once I get the ducks off of here. Try and get underneath of it. And basically I can't even see the end of this blade, so I'm kind of like feeling my way around under there. Pull the excess away. But I've been underneath of it that far. This is why I like the X-Acto knife, because see, I'm kind of like slicing right underneath there. I don't know if you can see that action or not. And just pulling up on the plastic even loosens those things up. Get that extra glob out of there. I'm kind of playing with this because 5 minutes might have been a little bit too long, but I'll give you a close-up on the details later. I just don't like to bend this stuff. They're probably going to be a back in the acetone, just the brass. I do that too. When I get all done, just throw them back in there and let them soak for a while, and you wipe them off. Let's see, the whole thing wants to move now. That's good. That's a good thing. Slice. Little wiggles. Make sure you get under everything. Little duck bill there trying to get on top. It's a little bit dangerous coming at your own finger with an X-Acto knife, but I'm not going too much pressure towards myself. It's more just wiggling, prying. Get that puppy off there. See how gooey that is? That's going to be a bitch to clean off. But I'll show you a little bit of that too. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to put that one right back in there. Acetone. Hanging onto the side of the jar. Look at that, how sticky that stuff is. It's pure acetone that's stuck on there. I haven't soaked the ends yet. I'll go ahead and do that right on camera while I try and mess with this other thing. I should have already put it in there. And just drop it in. It's going to be a pain to hold when it gets out though. I'm real curious as to what this thing is. Oh, knock my blade loose even. Like a piece of aluminum, really. Look at that. Did somebody do a repair on this or what? What is that? Okay, I want something a little stiffer here now. I don't really care about these scales no more, so I want to see. Oh, there we go. Pop. Like a piece of wire. Actually, like a piece of aluminum wire. I mean, it's freaking aluminum. I swear. Nice and shiny. What did it do though? Well, I don't know what it was doing in there. Maybe Glenn can enlighten us. I've never seen that, but you know, when I say it was on the inside of the scale, so you wouldn't, but I have no idea what it was doing. And there's the busted one. I'm still going to take it off and see. When I first got it, I thought, man, maybe it's just buried down in there, because it looked like this thing got hot or something. It's all deformed, and I haven't even done anything to it yet, but you can see how it kind of goes burp. Yep, it's too bad, but those are some bad scales. Okay, this hadn't been in there that long, but let's see what we got. Oh, we got slippery mess. I've had these come off easier, and I've had some come off tougher, but we're doing okay here. I just want to get under the brass, There we go. Oh, just slice it right off there. You see that? Bada bing. And all of that green stuff under there is corrosion. Well, let's see how long it takes to do this one. 8:06. You can see I did bend that up a little bit, but it's not hard to press them back flat. But you can see it doesn't look like brass at all. All that sticky stuff is all over it now. And the back of it, it's kind of shiny. Kind of looks like copper, doesn't it? I was wondering that earlier. I forgot to polish these. It's not that big of a deal when you're going to these, because I buff this all out anyway, and hit these when I do the final on them, clean up and everything. The acetone takes a lot of the stuff off of there. And the like this one here, when it's off the scales and everything, and you're cleaning the other side, and like I take it out of the acetone like these are right now, hit them with a toothbrush or a wire brush on the back, get all the gunk off of them. Wet acetone rag, wipe them down a little bit, make sure you don't snag any of the little things. Last thing you want to do is fold one of these over, and it's real easy to do. These little suede Q-tips, chamois swabs they call them. I got them at the computer place. I don't know if you can see in there. I don't have enough fingers to get one out, but there's a little chamois on the end of this plastic stick. That cleans them up really good. You can get that soaking in acetone. Basically, there's one that's dirty. Just want to get them really clean before you try and glue them back on. Hope I didn't touch it with any acetone. Yeah, this is like gorilla snot. See, I'm just going under and prying it up a little bit. All the green stuff oozing out of there. I don't know, maybe this is buried in there after all. It sure doesn't want to come out of there. So I didn't soak this one, but maybe a couple minutes. I'll have to look at the video afterwards and see, but that thing does not want to come off of there. You see what I mean though? It looks like it was melted down in there. Like, this was a weird looking little thing when I got it. Some parts of it. Okay, so to me right off the bat, I'm telling you, this maybe should soak a little bit longer. Because to me, this is a little bit too much prying on this fine brass. And with these being buried down in there like that, there's a good chance they're going to bend. And even though this one's ruined, well, it looks ruined, I don't know, it might pop out of there and have the whole thing. Dig along in there and see what we can find. No, I don't believe so. You'd think something like that would have to be a factory defect if it was buried in there like that. Of course, you know, there's trash falling in the scales while they're making them. What the hell's up with that? Okay, I'm going to turn that around because I don't want to stab myself. Oh, by God, that thing is in there. So, it's going back for another acetone bath. I'm not going to fight it. Look at it. Ew. I'm trying not to get any of this on my rubber workbench here because the acetone kind of like buffs it or scuffs it when you wipe it. And it's just unskin and coming off. Just don't get it under the fingernails. So this is a lot of fun, huh? Prepare to get dirty, sticky. Let's see if that little bit of soak helped do anything there. I just can't believe how hard this one is. Stuck in there unless it's really buried down in there. I suppose if it was something was sitting on it and it got hot, or somebody heated it up and hit it with a hammer or something, I don't know. I just don't know what happened here. And digging is not helping. Well, this has turned into a real adventure here. This is not like, oh, I just pop these off as easy as that. Boom, done. See, if this thing wasn't just... Okay, now I'm forcing my way in. I'm getting tired of messing with it. But it still feels like there's brass in there. It wouldn't surprise me if it popped out of there. I've seen some weird stuff. Let's get something with some backbone and see if we can... I can't tell by the feel, but I swear that's like pushed down in there 1/8 of an inch. This is what it feels like now. Let's break it open and see. Oh, good. I don't have to hold that big glob of goo. Used Reaper scales for sale. Cheap. Make offer. Well, you know, I think I'm gonna have to do is just soak this till it turns into goo. Yeah, because there's more of this popping up. That whole thing is there. Look at that. It was just pushed down in there. I don't know about the end of it, but this calls for some major goo surgery. So it's going back in. I'm going to let that soak for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes at least. I'll get the other unit out if I can. Not with that. That's alright, I'll pour it off later. Anyway, so as you can see, this can be a sticky mess. This is one of the messiest ones I've had. Seems like every one I've done is different. The clear ones don't take as long to soak. And it happened to be one of the clear scales. I don't mean the acrylics, but the like this one here, clear. I soaked one too long and that it got gooier than this one. It was a real mess. So that's the fun of it, basically. Like I said, I'm just going to take these and soak them. Go after them with a wire brush, maybe a soft one, a toothbrush. If the acetone doesn't tear that up, see? After they soak, you get all that plastic off of there, and then maybe hit it with some 600 or something even finer. Try and get it all clean and shiny, because I'm going to be putting on a clear acrylic, so you'll be able to see it somewhat. So you don't want it to be a black spot as you're looking through. And this guy here, he's ready for a new home. Well, he will be. Okay, so that's it for ripping the brass off the duck's neck. And we'll see you guys on the next one.